Pinchas. Parshas Pinchas, very interesting. And so we can learn in the beginning of the story, very shocking story of death and destruction, murder, and other things that are not nice. Let's see how we can make this bigger.
You have control of it. I put it up for you.
Okay, I'm making it bigger. And you showed me how to make it bigger, so I will. I just got back home. Oh, there we go. Okay. Pinchas. So we see last week's Torah portion that Pinchas stood up and saved all the Jewish people by doing this horrendous act of spearing Zimri and his paramour through the genitals and lifting them up and showing them to all of the Jewish people. And he ran around for, I don't know how long, an hour or something, and he showed everybody his accomplishment, his trophy. And this stopped, everyone got the point. They realized that it sort of took off their excitement for the daughters of Moab. And it also saved the Jewish people from mass destruction, because God got really mad at them. And it says that a lot of people died in the, what is it, Arba Stream Elef, it says that they died in this terrible destruction just because of this. It was at Shittim, the Jewish people at Shittim. And for that also is hinted at that it was because of shtut, insanity. Arba Be'esrim Elef, 24,000 people died because of this ridiculous mistake that they made, and Pinchas saved them all. So what does Pinchas get? We talked about this in the Sikha today. Vayedaber Hashem Moshe lemor. God spoke to Moshe to say, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen, Pinchas the son of Elazar. Who was Elazar? Elazar was one of the sons of Aaron, Elazar v'Itamar. He was the son of Elazar HaKohen. Heshiv et chamoti, he quelled my anger. How do you say, turned back my anger, Me'al ben Israel, on the Jewish people. Bekano es kinosi, because he took my vengeance. Now, the word kina can mean vengeance, but it also can mean very, how do you say, very, there must be a word for it, a very caretaking, like something is given to your trust, and someone is trying to destroy that thing, that precious thing. That's also called to be very kanai. Kanai is a person who is very, how do you say, extreme in his value of something. Kanai. So he says, huh?
Zealous.
Zealous. Okay, zealous you can say. Zealous, good. Zealous is a good word. Zealous is a good word. Because usually kina is translated as jealous. But okay, he embodied my zealousness, betocham, inside of the Jewish people. And this is God, what does God really value? And this is what Bilam knew, that God really values chastity. God really values chastity, of course, to a proper degree, but God really values modesty and chastity. And he does not like it when people do what they want in the realm of sex. And they just do whatever they want to with whoever they want to. God does not like that. So it says when people do misuse this, as that makes God very angry. Because on one hand, it's the source of human life. It's a source of all human life. So to misuse this is a very improper thing, and it makes God very, very angry. In a way, that's the partnership. It says a man is partners with God. A man and his wife and God are partners in making children. They're partners. In a way, they're called equal partners in making children, even though that's ridiculous, because man is the mother and the father are also created by God. And the ability to procreate is created by God. And the whole world is being created by God every instant, brand new. So how is it that man that a person says has three partners in his creation, his mother, his father, and God? So the answer is because a mother and a father, they have free will. So everything else is given to them by God totally. And free will is also given by God totally. But free will is like its name, it's free. God gave it to you. You can choose whatever you want to. So choosing whatever you want to doesn't mean that you can choose to be a giraffe or you can choose to be, the Mars or something. Free will means that you can choose either to do what God wants or not to do what God wants. That's the main choice. And within that, there's a lot of choices you can make about what God wants and a lot of choices you can make what God does not want. To eat kosher food, you say, I'm going to eat kosher food. Within that, you can eat kosher meat, kosher fish, kosher, not kosher food, the same thing. It's your choice. That power of choice is what makes man an equal partner with God. When a person uses his free choice, especially in that area where he's a partner with God, making a child, and he uses it, his free choice, to do it in a way that God does not want him to do, as that makes God very angry. Okay, so it says, Pinchas, you did the job for me. If it wasn't for me, I would just recall. I would make a recall, right? Like once in a while, Toyota makes recalls that brakes aren't working or something. Well, sometimes the Jews' brakes on the Jews aren't working. And so God makes a recall. So here it says, 24,000 people, Jews, died because they didn't have any brakes. They didn't have proper brakes. So Hashem just took them all. But it says if it wouldn't have been for Pinchas killing these two people, there would have much more people, much more Jews would have paid. Of course, we see that God does not do that nowadays. And this is back in the old days when people did something wrong, so God let them know it was wrong. Now, you see that people can do whatever they want to, and God doesn't punish them. God is waiting for everybody to come to their own conclusions that really God is the creator, is the boss. So it says, Pinchas ben Elazar. Let's see what the Rashi says. Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. Lefi shahayu ashvatim mevazim oto. All of the other people of the tribes, they were embarrassing him. What were they embarrassing him? What was wrong? They said, Heritem ben Puti, Zen, look at ben Puti, shepitom avi imo, that the father of his mother used to fatten up egalim, calves, lavoda zora, for idolatry. The harag, now he's standing up, and he is, what's going on over here? Who exactly was he? Right? Who exactly was he? Just give me one moment, please. Yes. Sorry, I just came back from a long trip, so my mind is not working 100%. Okay. Yes. It says that why? Because Pinchas, he got married to one of the daughters of Yitro. Yitro, we know, there's a whole parsha of the Torah called on Yitro. And Yitro, he converted. And Yitro had daughters, and one of the daughters married Pinchas. Yes.
One of the daughters married Eliezer.
His father.
Right. His father.
One of the daughters married his father. That's right. Eliezer married his father. So they said that you come from a family that your grandfather from your mother's side, her father was Yitro. Yitro used to fatten up calves for idolatry. Why didn't he just say he would sacrifice calves for idolatry? The Rebbe has a beautiful sikh about this, and he says that what were they trying to do? They were trying to say that Yitro, he didn't just sacrifice calves to idolatry. He would fatten them up. He would give them to eat and fatten them up so they would think that he was their best friend. He would do good for them, and then he would kill them for idolatry. In other words, Yitro, they want to say, was a cruel person, and that cruelty was passed on down into Pinchas. So Pinchas did not kill Zimri, who was the head of the tribe of Shimon, and he came from pure stock. Shimshon was a pure Jew from Egypt. And now this person who his grandfather was fattening up, it was a cruel person. He used to fatten up these. Why did Pinchas kill Zimri? Because he likes blood. He's a sadistic person, just like his grandfather. It's his nature. It's his nature. He didn't go against his nature. That's his nature. He was just waiting for a chance to jump in and kill somebody. And he found his chance. He's just a bloody person. That's what they were all saying. It says, Barag Nasi. Now this person is killing Nasi of Yisrael. Therefore, Bo Katuv, the Torah comes and says, no, his lineage comes from Aaron. Pinchas ben Elaz ben Aaron. Let's go after his father, not after his mother. Bekano is Kinosi, that he took my revenge on the Jewish people, excuse me. Here. Benekamaso et nikmasi. He took my revenge. Bekaftso et haketzev. That he took my anger. My anger, he got angry. Shahayalo liktsof. That it was just that he should get angry about this thing. Now, what do we see? That no one else got angry. No one knew what to do. They didn't know what the law was. They were all bound they were sitting thinking either what he's doing is good, or they were thinking what he's doing is bad, but we don't know what to do. Why did God make it that even Moshe didn't know what the law was? Didn't know what the law was? Because he wanted to give Pinchas the merit. He wanted to give him, and the Rebbe says that from this we can learn that a lot of times things have to be done, and 100% it's the right thing to do. It's not just all of a sudden you get angry that you did it because you have hot blood, like they accused Pinchas of. But nobody is doing it. So in such a case, then you have to do. So like his children on Shabbos, they're wandering around the streets, and they're not, tell them a story, maybe invite them to your house, say a nice word. Do something that no one else is doing. Call Lashon Kina, this whole language of Kina, jealousy, is mitchara, linkom nikamas davar, that he is, how do you say, severe to take revenge on something. Something is wrong. He is the one that does, what I say, takes the law into his own hands. An parimt in Lashon Amzar. An parimt. What does that mean? How does it mean? Something in French. An rimt. All right. I don't know. Yud base. Therefore, I am giving him my gift of peace. If you look in the Torah, you'll see that the vav of this letter is broken. That's the way it's supposed to be written. Shalom. Some people write it long enough, the vav long enough, and then they make it a little break after it's long enough. But it has to be broken. Et briti shalom, shetehe lo librit shalom, that it will be for him a covenant of peace. Exactly the opposite. He murdered somebody and he gets peace. Ka'adam ha mechzik tova ve I can't read the things. Lemi she'osu imo tova, like a person who owes somebody a favor because that person did him something good. Afkan perish lo kodesh baruch hu. God said, I am going to repay you something. V'hayato lo lezaro harav. What's going to be the payment? Him and his seed after him, Brit Kunat Olam, they will become Kohanim. Tachat asher kinei le'elokav, since he took the revenge of God, v'yechaper al bnei Israel, and he saved the Jewish people. He vindicated the Jewish people. Rashi, v'hayatalo Brit Olam, v'hayalo what? Britizo, this covenant will be with him forever. Brit kunat olam. Sha'af al pi, even though shekavar nitna kahuna, even though that Pinchas missed out, the Kohanim, to be a Kohen, was already appropriated. It was already given out to everyone. Lazaro shel Aaron, to all the seed of Aaron. It was apportioned to the seed of Aaron. Who? Aaron and anyone born afterwards. It was only given to Aaron and the children of Aaron that were anointed with him. Only from those members of Aaron's family that were born after the appointment. So Aaron was appointed, and anyone that was born after that date for Aaron, he automatically became a Kohen. No, what about Pinchas? Pinchas was born before that date. He was born before the inauguration date, before the anointing date. Therefore, he was not appointed to be a Kohen. Lo bo l'klal kahuna ad kan. He did not come to be a Kohen until this very moment. And we also learn in the Gemara in Zavachim, page Kuf Aleph, Lo nitkahen Pinchas ad shehorgu Zimri. He did not become a Kohen until he killed Zimri. Oh, there we go. Le'elokov, he took jealousy for God, bishvil elokov, for the sake of Hashem. Like it says grammatically, Hamakane ata eli, are you jealous because of me, Mekinasi letzion, etc., that I am jealous for? B'shem ish Yisrael amukeh, the name of the victim that Pinchas speared, asher hukah et a Midianit, that he was speared together with a Midianite woman. Et means together with. Zimri ben Salu, Nasi Beit Av L'Shimoni. He was the chief prince of the family of Shimon. Shem ish Yisrael kuli b'makom sheyeches et tzaddik l'shavach yaches as a rasha l'ganai. The same way it gives the family tree of the tzaddik, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Akohen, etc. So it says also the evil person, he should have just said, the Torah could have just said he killed Shimon, that's all. Or Shimon, the tribe of, it's just killed, Zimri, that from Shimon. No, he has to tell his name. Zimri, the son of Salu. In other words, he embarrassed himself and his father. Nasi Beis Av L'Shimoni, La'achar, Le'echad Michameshet Bati Avot, Shahaya L'Shevet Shimon. This is one of the 5 big families that was in Shimon. Dabarach, another. Why does it have to tell his family lineage? They come from Shimon, from Salu. Dabarach lahodia shivcha shel Pinchas, to let you know why did it tell here that the Zimri was one of the chiefs, princes of Shimon. Why? To praise Pinchas. She'af al pi she. I can't. Shezeh hayan nasi. That even though that Zimri, he was a big macher, he was a big prince, he was the leader. Lo manat atzmo. He did not refrain from lekanei lechil Hashem. He did not refrain from jumping in and stopping the defilement of God's name. He didn't say to himself, "Whoa, who is the? Oh, wow, this is." Look at this, who I'm about to swear. This is the chief of Shimon. Not only that, it says that Shimon and Levi were big warriors. Shimon and Levi, Shimon and Levi, Achim, Klei Hamas Mezcherotayim. It says that Shimon and Levi, they were brothers and they were really, very, very severe warriors. And so as soon as he saw this was the prince of Shimon, Pinchas should have thought twice. Maybe let's throw water on him or something. What does he have to? Therefore, it comes to tell you who exactly was that he speared, who he killed. Okay, Vayadaber Hashem el Moshe lemor. God spoke to Moshe and he said like this: Soror es a Midyanim. What does it mean, soror? it says like, remember the Midyanim, v'hikisem otam, and smite them. Make a war with them. Tzuror means como zachor, shamor, lashon hove. Alechem iyav otam. Tzuror means you should remember that they're your enemies. Tzuror, make trouble for them. Kitzorim hem lechem, because they are your enemies. Beniklehem asher niklu lechem, in the problems that they made for you. Al davar pa'or, because of pa'or. Now, what was pa'or? We learned previously. It was terrible. It just doesn't. It was an idol that the daughters of Midian worshipped, and they got the Jews to worship it also. So it says that God got mad at the Jewish people, at the Jewish men, for two reasons. First of all, they had relations with these non-Jewish women. And second of all, the non-Jewish women said, if you want to have relations with me, is you have to worship this God, which the way that they worshipped it was really a very disgusting way. And the Jews said, no problem, no problem. So not only did they do this weird idolatry, they also had relations with these girls. That's what it says on the Davar Pa'or. Asher Diber Kozvi Bas Nasi, that the Kozbi, that was the woman that Zimri had relations with. She was nothing less than the daughter of the president, of the prime minister of Midian. Achotam, their sister, Amukah B'yom Megefa Al Davar Pa'or, that they were smitten, that she was killed on the day of the Megefa. In other words, who killed her? Zimri killed her. Kitzorim lechem. So God is saying, now I want you, it's not enough the revenge that Zimri took, that Pinchas took on Zimri. I want you, Jewish people, to make a war against Midian. Shafkiru banoteam. What did they do? That was the advice of Bilam, that they should all, the mafkir, they should just release all of their daughters for prostitution. Kadei, in order to make the Jewish people sin after this bizarre idol called Pa'or. Ve'et Moav lo tziva, but that was Midian. Moav, God did not command to destroy. Why? Mipenei Ruth, because Ruth was going to come in the day later on. Ruth was going to come in the days of Boaz. She was going to come, and Ruth eventually would give birth to, afterward, 4 generations, to David. Atidim l'tzeit mehem, because Shahayata, what's this? 1 second. Does it say that it was? I'd like to move this over here. How do I do this? Mut Shahayata, that it was Atidim l'tzeit mehem, because of Ruth, that was going to come out from them, from the Moabites. So because of that, God did not say to destroy. Only Midian. And we're going to see what this war with Midian is. It's quite remarkable. In the next week's Parsha, we're going to talk about it also, when next week, when the Jews came back with all the spoils of the war. And afterwards, after this Megefa, after this plague that Pinchas stopped, oh, it says you should stop in the middle of the pasuk. There's a break over here. Vayomer Hashem Moshe ve'Elazar ben Aaron Kohen, saying, "Su'u et Rosh Kaladat ben Israel mi ben Esrim shana v'mayla, mi beit avotam kol yotzei tzava b'Yisrael." Take everybody more than 20 years old. V'daber Moshe and Elazar Kohen arvos Moav al Yoden Recho, right before they came into the land of Israel, and they said, "Mi ben Esrim shana," for everyone 20 years older, like God commanded to Moshe and the Jewish people to come out of the land of Israel. And now he starts to count them, and then they go and they make a war against the Midianites. Let's just look at the commentary of Rashi. Okay, it was after the plague. Mashal Laroa. This is a metaphor. We can compare this to a shepherd. Right? What happens over here? The Jewish people sinned with the daughters of Moab. 24,000 Jews got killed. Pinchas stood up and saved everybody. God now says, okay, go and kill the rest of the Midianites. Then all of a sudden it says, and it was after the plague, after the Jews died. What do we mean after the Jews died? What do we care? God said, go and, so it says, why does the Torah have to tell us that this happened after this plague, after the Jews were killed with the daughters of Midian? It says, Mashal, this can be compared to a shepherd. Shenichnasu ze'evim, that came wolves into his flock. V'hargu and killed them, killed many from the sheep. So he counted them to know how many are remaining. Therefore, it's the same thing. God is now he's going to make a counting, you'll see, of the Jews to know how many are left. Davar acher, another explanation. Kishiyetsu v'nimsru l'Moshe, when they came to and gave this news over to Moshe, nimsru lo b'minyan, they told him how many. V'achshav, and now shekarev lamut, Moshe now was getting close to die, because Moshe died like a little bit more than 1 month before the Jews went into the land of Israel, I'm sorry. Right? The Jews went into Israel on the 10th of Nisan, and Moshe died on the 7th of Adar. Now Moshe is coming close to die. Now he's going to give the sheep back. So therefore, he counts them again. He gave them back, just as the Jews were given to Moshe when they left Egypt. God counted them. Is now also he's going to count them again, because he's giving them back to. Su'ud Rosh Kaladat B'Yisrael, count the number of the Jewish people from 20 years old and above, according to their fathers' houses. All call Yetzei Tzava B'Yisrael, all of those who are able to fight in the Jewish people. From 20 and up, that's when they went into the army. L'Beit Avotam, Al Shevet Ha'av Yitrachsu, all of them were connected, they were counted according to their father's house, not after the mother. So in other words, if a woman from the tribe of Benjamin got married to somebody from Yehuda, so they would get married, they would be called after the name of Benjamin, even though that was really not permissible at the time. But nevertheless, the children went after the name of the father. The father. It says, God told them to count them. Lemor, and said like this, Omru lehem, he said, Tzorichim atem lehemanot, you have to be counted. Why is it from 20 years old and above? Sheyahem minyanam ben esrim shana v'mayla, sheneamar, like it says, call over ala pekudim, etc. Like it says, all of those who are counted is from 20 years and up, to show that the purpose, what's this idea? It's a pekudim. To show that what's the idea of going to war? The idea of a Jew is to make a change in the world. So it says from 20 years old, or a person is responsible for his actions. He's responsible in a different way than before he's 20 years old. So that's the idea of responsibility. The Jewish people have responsibility to count every responsible Jew. So to speak, those are the only ones in this aspect of Judaism that really counts. And we're going to see an interesting thing that God says to Moshe, go and make war with Midian, and after that, you're going to die. And Moshe did not delay, and he immediately went. And even though that Moshe, we're going to see later on that he prays 515 prayers to God, Parshas Etchanan, that he shouldn't die, but in order to do what God says, he didn't think about it. Just did what God said. And that we're going to learn about, God willing, tomorrow. Okay, let's learn Pirkei Avot. We just had Yerachmiel was at my house, and we just changed the settings for the microphone. So hope it's better for everyone. Only for you, dear listeners. Let's go. We are now on the 4th chapter of Pirkei Avot. I cannot stress too much that you have to go over it. I promised everybody that I would make questions, because we finished the laws of Basar v'Chalav. So I promised I would make questions on them, and I will make. I just didn't have a chance to do it, but you can expect questions that will be coming. All right, and we'll talk about what we should learn next I was thinking maybe Shabbat. It's a little bit long. Maybe you want to learn Taruvot. That's a little bit complicated. And the laws of salting, that's a little bit not interesting, but it's shorter. It's more. So we'll think about it. You have another 15,